So let's talk about a few ways to eliminate one of the new Tacoma's most horrible features. I'm talking about auto stop or start stop. It is a horrible addition to the truck. Probably the worst thing, in my opinion, that Toyota could have done. But there are a few ways to eliminate it or to not utilize it. And the reason I bring this up is because I was just listening to the radio, and the DJ and his sidekick were talking about auto stop and how bad it is and that everybody hates it, and I agree. I don't know anybody who likes auto stop. Do you? Do you know anybody who actually likes stop-start technology? I don't know. It's horrible, but it's interesting in listening to them talk about auto stop, some of the misconceptions that are out there about it. You know, they mentioned that, well, it's bad when you come to a train track and you stop your car and it's really hot outside and the air conditioning is going. The car gets really hot because it shuts off. That is not true. Unless you have some setting in your system that says never ever get rid of stop start for any reason, what the car does is it will maintain the temperature inside the car, but if the battery starts to get too low, the engine will restart. So auto stop will not be on. So I don't know what they're talking about. They are wrong about that. And then they mentioned something about it ruining the electric starter. And I'm thinking, well, I mean, all cars have starters, right? I mean, it's not really, I guess it is electric, and that it's an electric, motor kind of thing, or an electric unit, let's say. So it was kind of misleading there. It's like every car has a starter, right? Except maybe an electric vehicle. If you're driving around in an EV, well, then obviously not. But even the EVs will continue to run the air conditioner if the car is stopped, if you know what I'm saying. So anyway, how can you get rid of this horrible feature on the new Tacoma? And by the way, not every new Tacoma has it. I'm told that it's only in the two-wheel drive versions, but nothing else. So I guess if you buy a two-wheel drive, and a lot of people do because I see a lot of them on the lots, you're going to have auto stop. And I do think it's going to make its way to every trim level eventually. So how do you stop it? Well, first of all, Toyota did do something, thankfully, that allows you to easily not engage it if you want. And that is not to fully depress the brake pedal. In other words, when you pull up to a stoplight, obviously you're going to be hitting the brake, right? I hope, to slow the car down. But you don't have to jam that pedal to the floor. You'll even get a message on the screen that says something like, to engage auto stop, push the pedal harder. So you don't have to do that. You will be stopped. It's not like you're going to be creeping forward at the light because you're not pushing down on the brake pedal enough. And that will allow you to not utilize auto stop or start stop, whatever you want to call it, right? I guess it's technically called auto stop, I think. The next way is, and every vehicle that I've ever been in that has auto stop has this, and that of course is the button that you can push. If you remember to push it. I seldom do. Even in this car that I'm driving while I'm away from the Tacoma, I forget to push the button. And yes, this does have auto stop. And it doesn't seem there's any way to kind of sneak in and not use it by not pressing the brake pedal enough. It engages when I stop no matter what. Cannot stand it. But anyway, there is a button. It's right down there on your cluster or center panel, I guess, that you can actually push. Now, as I mentioned, the problem with that is it only works while you're in the current running cycle, while you're driving the truck. In other words, when you turn the truck off, like you're done for a while or whatever, it's going to reset. And the default, the reset, is auto stop on. Unfortunately, there's no way to change that. And I don't know why the manufacturers don't give us a way to permanently disable auto stop. I mean, I had a Porsche and it had auto stop. God knows why. But I was able to push that button one time while the car was running, and then it always defaulted to whatever I chose. In other words, the default on it was not always on, no matter what you did. I love that. Porsche actually treated us like adults, and we could actually make the decision as to whether or not we wanted auto stop on or not. Love that. You cannot do that in the Toyota Tacoma. So those are two ways. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a third, and it may be out already. I'm not sure yet, but I know it's coming because it's out there for many other vehicles, and that's the auto stop eliminator or start stop eliminator. What that is a simple plug and play device. It kind of plugs into two wires, most likely right in your center area, and eliminates it. It eliminates it in that it remembers the last setting that you chose when you push that button or not. So, in other words, if you get in the Tacoma and you push the auto stop to off, it will remember that the next time you restart the truck. The default will be what you want it to be, as opposed to being what Toyota or the government wants it to be. Now, what's the big problem with auto stop? Why do I and I think everybody else dislike it so much? Well, one is the car shuts off. It's rather unnerving when you pull up somewhere, particularly if you're new to start stop or auto stop technology. You pull up to a stop, the vehicle shuts off. Now, typically when you're driving your vehicle and it shuts off, there's a problem, right? I mean, if you're old school like me, you never wanted the vehicle to quit running while you were driving it. So it's always in the back of my head when it shuts off that something has gone wrong. And now I'm either going to be stranded or I got to call somebody. That's kind of the feeling I get whenever auto stop occurs. Even now, even that I've had it for so long, I still get that feeling. Wear and tear. You know, I don't care what the manufacturers say. When you're shutting off your truck and restarting it multiple times on one trip, that is putting more wear and tear on the engine and all of the component parts that are affected by auto stop. I mean, think about it. If you're somewhere, let's say you're driving in a city or you're somewhere where there's a lot of lights and you're kind of creeping along in between each light as you go, you know, the old crawl thing, it's going to kick in, the auto stop that is. You might restart your car 10, 20 times while you're out driving. That is not a good thing. Your starter, your engine, all of the component parts, your battery, the alternator, all of that stuff. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. And another, I think, false belief out there is that auto stop is designed to save gas. Auto stop is not designed to save gas. Auto stop was designed to reduce emissions. That is the purpose of it. So if you think you're going to be saving a ton of gas because you're utilizing auto stop, you are mistaken. That is simply not true. Anyway, I just wanted to get on, talk about auto stop. The few ways, I guess, you can sort of disable it when you're driving your new Tacoma, because I find it to be very annoying. And then, of course, the DJ on the radio was talking about it, and I thought, you know, we ought to cover that a little bit. So there you go. Let me know. Am I wrong? Do you really like auto stop? Leave a comment. I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.